Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Pisha Goyal and today I wanted to tell you something that I've been meaning to tell you. I have graduated high school! Yay! I am so happy that now I am finally in the peace of summer where I can enjoy myself. The past 2 years I did the IB Diploma program and I have got the results on July 6th and the results were 43 out of 45 marks, which is an absolute shock. I am grateful and so happy with my results. It was a long, tough journey and I wanted to share with you the tips that I have used to help me to get through the past 2 years, hoping that it will help others as well. Just to keep in mind that I am hearing impaired, and which means that I had to study double the amount of effort that everybody else had to study because I had to study from scratch. It takes me a long time to process the information that I'm getting for each subject, and each time when I get home I don't have that much time to just sit down and relax because I had to study a lot more and take a lot more time to study each of the subjects. So today I want to talk about the few tips that I have used, and it's very general tips that have helped me to make it IB a bit easier for me to handle despite the stress and anxiety that I have faced the past 2 years. Hopefully this will help other people, and let's get into the video. Before we get into the video, I wanted to show you what are the grades that I have gotten. For IB Visual Arts High Level, I got 7. For IB Psychology High Level, I got 7. For IB Biology High Level, I got 6. And for English, IB English Analysis, Language and Literature, I got 6. For IB Maths Analysis and Approaches Standard Level, I got 7. And for IB German Ab Initio Standard Level, I got 7. And for TOK, I got B, and for EE, I got A. For EE, I did the psychology subject, and I will explain more about that in the next video. So for the next few videos, I just want to talk about how I got these grades and maybe talk about a few topics that are normally a difficult topic to talk about, and how I study for the IB exams, extended essay, so that I could help others. I also want to mention that I got a PDG award for CAS, which I will definitely explain how I got to this point in another video for sure. So the first thing that I would definitely recommend is that make sure you have a set mindset. Make sure that you have a set goal, a goal that you want to achieve, and this has helped me to get through IB with lots of motivation and encouragement. Of course, I had to admit that it was hard to maintain that motivation throughout the year, but this motivation, this whole goal will help you at least in the long run. So what I did was I had a board where I would put push pins of different aspects, for example, an honor roll or a high honor roll. And this would tell me, it will push me or encourage me to get another high honor roll in the next semester. Also, I would put a little sticky note where I would write, get the GPA, work hard. This is what I wanted to achieve. It's telling me this is my goal, I need to get there to achieve it. And this mindset will help you in the long run. And yes, it is difficult to maintain this mindset, but trust me, this is the best thing to do in order to get through IB. So now that you have created a set goal that I wanted to achieve this by the end of the semester, or by the end of the year, or by the end of IB, the next step is to create a to-do list. So this is an important aspect in order to organize your assignment, tasks, subject, extended essay, TOK timeline, all into one format. There are so many various ways that you could create this planner. For me, I used a Trello board. A Trello board is a digital website that I used. I did not use the premium format. I used the basic simple Trello format, and this has helped me to organize my assignments and subject or extended essay timeline or TOK timeline. And what I did was I had backlog, then I also had today, tomorrow, or next week, and done. These are the important backlogs or list that I had. So the backlog is where I would put my assignment that I need, that I hear every time. This is a great way to organize your task efficiently later on. Then I have today, tomorrow, and next week. This is where after I come back home from a whole day of school, I would look at the list that I have in the backlog and then organize the assignment according to my priority. I look at which one is the top priority, second priority, third priority, and then I put it into the 3 different categories. And when you click on each of your assignment, you could also create a checklist where you can write down your to-do list for that particular assignment. Do not write biology, psychology, geography, or something like that. Instead, write my extended essay or TOK essay or psychology paper or something like that, so that you can organize your brain to tell you, okay, I had these assignments, rather than these are my subjects, I click on these subjects and I look at my assignments. So that way it's easier to sort of know how many assignments you have and manage your time wisely. Of course, you don't have to do it that way. You could always use a diary, a bullet journal, whatever you can write it written format. I have seen a lot of people that use the written format. Do whatever makes your life easier. This is what has helped me to get through the past 3 years. So the next step is to create a time planner. I know this kind of connects to the previous tip, but this one is more about setting a time for each of the assignment, or also setting a time for rest. Take a minute break or a walk or exercise, anything, because those are the important things. You do not want to study 24/7. That would definitely bring you into a burnout mode that you cannot study the next few days. So what I did was I had this little journal, or I would also do it on my calendar. It depends on which one works for me effectively. So what I did was, for my planner, I would on the calendar I would create a block. So this happened in the night before. So the night before, after I finished a whole day of work, I would create blocks on my calendar saying, okay, psychology essay to write, or biology mind map to write, or and also I would also include lunch break, snack break, time to just take a nap, or time to go for a walk or exercise. Any of that. Make sure you make time for exercise, sleep, rest, everything, because those things are required for you to maintain your day and maintain your physical and emotional well-being. And also I would create a little journal. I had this little journal where during the summer, especially, where I had so much freedom, there was no school day, or I could easily procrastinate. There was a time where you could easily slip into procrastination, and I do admit there were times that I procrastinated, but with this board that I have, it pushed me. It told me, oh, I'm making a mistake, this is not right. So what I did was I had this little journal where I included the time right on the left side, and then, for example, if I wake up at 8 o'clock, 8:30 I start working all the way till 10 o'clock or something like that, and then I write the subject that I did. But what I meant by that is put the start time of your subject, do your work, and when you feel like you need a break, put the ending timing, so that you can see how much time did you spend on each of the assignment that you did. This would help you to realize that, okay, I did a good amount of time on this subject, and that means it would tell you you can look at it as your achievement. But also, if you see, oh, I only spent half an hour with this subject during the day, I did not spend any more of the subject in the next few days, then this is a sign. This tells you, okay, then I need to do this the next day. So this way it helps you to make sure that you have your day planned out well. Now the fourth tip or the fifth tip is to make sure you manage your health well. Now this is an important aspect when it comes to IB. IB, I know that it can be very demanding, giving you assignments one at a time, each time, but what I know is that keeping a balanced lifestyle would always make you be able to submit your assignments on the right deadline with the best effort you can give it, and make sure you don't push yourself too much because it can easily cause a burnout, which means that you would completely have no ability to do work or do anything because you work too hard for it. Your body suddenly shuts down. So to prevent that, you want to work on your time management skills. Be realistic on how much time you can spend on each assignment, as well as making sure that you can create a good set of assignments per day so that you can finish everything by the set deadline. And also to include in your healthy lifestyle, make sure that you eat healthy by keeping your nutrition, your protein, your every of the nutritious factors on track, and as well as drink as much amount of water, because water always helps you to keep you awake and really hydrated throughout the day, because IB can be very draining, which some of you may have already faced in grade 11. And so make sure that you drink a lot of water, to exercise, go for walks when you need. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, what I would do is I would go for a walk, or I would just, let me admit, I do also watch TV, which is totally okay, but do not watch TV all day, because that easily makes you slip into procrastination. So what I would do is I come back from school, and then I would watch for about an hour, or just sleep for an hour, eat a snack, just to kind of keep my mind completely rested. I had to take longer because of my hearing aids, since I had to pay attention a lot. Concentration is much higher than anyone else, and so that's why I had to come home and try to rest a bit more than just an hour or half an hour. But of course it is different for everybody else, but do not let procrastination take your time away. Make sure that you know, okay, this is the amount of time I spend relaxing, so that way you are not going to get easily burned out at the end of the day. And also make sure you have enough sleep. It's really important. I know this might be a sentence that you've been hearing from everyone, your friends, your teachers, your parents, and I know it's difficult to keep because IB has such demanding assignments and you don't know how to finish it on time. So there were days I had to sleep at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and it is understandable, totally understandable, but make sure that you make up for it the next day, meaning that you sleep at least in the afternoon or sleep early the next day. So because it won't affect you in the long run if you just sleep late one of the days, or just maximum a very few days. It won't affect you. Of course it will affect you on the long run if you sleep late too many times. Make sure you keep track of the amount of sleep, 6 to 8 hours minimum. Also, this next tip is really not a tip, but it's more of a awareness. Basically, it is okay to cheat a little. What I mean by cheat is not cheating on your assignment. Of course, make sure that you are fully engaged into your assignment and do your assignment well. But what I mean by cheat a little is basically if you accidentally slip into procrastination, or if you watch a little bit of too much TV one of the days or a couple of days, it's totally okay, but make up for it in the next assignment or the next day off, and try to avoid doing procrastination. That's why I have this journal that helps me to prevent the same mistake that I did every time. And this is really important in terms of the summer, because I know summer is the time to rest, and that's what I did, but it went too long, and so that's why I kept this journal. I made sure that I follow a routine. A routine is very important. The next tip is to basically create efficient notes. I know this might be a bit tricky because as a IB student, in the beginning, as soon as I started IB, I would often do various kinds of note-making techniques. Once I tried to just write bullet points on a piece of paper on each chapter. One technique that I really love that has really helped me is mind maps. Mind maps are a great way to expand your knowledge and kind of create connections between different topics within a big topic. So what I did, like for example, for biology and psychology, I would introduce the main topic by putting it at my right column, and then, well, not column, but right part of the paper, and then introduce whatever the topic is, and then I would build on it. It's like sort of creating your house. You basically start with your foundation and then build onto it. So that's what I did, and as well as I color coded it, so that what I've realized is after a few days, I have realized that color coding helps me to remember these topics. And this is a true fact in psychology. A lot of people use colors in order to help them remember things. And one thing that I do know that has helped me to manage my time effectively in IB is to create the notes during summer. I know this is really frustrating, the fact that summer means the time to relax, but when you create notes and read the chapters before school starts, it helps you to kind of be aware of what the teacher is going to teach you next. Of course, your mind maps do not need to be perfect, which is because there were many times that I had to keep creating the same mind map 5 times, 6 times, because each time a new idea pops in which doesn't fit into my mind map, and that's why I create a new set. That's why using mind maps is the most effective way, because easily you're able to write notes and not have to reorganize too much. You're easily able to fit information and create connections everywhere. So during the summer, try and create notes beforehand. There were times that I had to copy from the textbook because I'm not able to understand the topic fully until I go to school. And so when I go to school, I get new information that makes me understand the topic better. And so what I did was I would recreate the mind map with my own understanding. And that's why it has helped me to remember the information long term. And also, it can be a satisfaction, the fact that you were able to, what if the teacher asks questions and you don't have to be the one who doesn't answer? You can easily answer back, and that's why that is also an advantage of it. This also helps you to manage your time wisely. And the last tip is, of course, I know it's frustrating, but ask for help when you need it. Help is always required during IB, and of course, you will find times where you're writing down information and then you suddenly realize that you're getting lost in some certain topics, and then you start feeling overwhelmed and feel like crying. Ask for help. Talk to the teacher. Ask them, I'm not able to understand this topic. I definitely learned this the hard way. Of course, in the beginning, I did not ask the teacher for help. I do admit that I am a shy person when it comes to sitting in certain classes. Not all classes, but some of the classes I would often be shy. But it is okay. It's okay to sometimes feel overwhelmed, but make sure that you don't feel too overwhelmed. So ask for help. Ask your parents for help, your brother for help, your sister for help, your teachers for help, counselors, anybody, so that they can help you to get through IB. And that would, with my family's support and because of my hearing aids, and not only my hearing aids, but also just getting through IB with a lot of anxiety attacks, panic attacks, my parents and my brothers, they all have been there for me, supporting me, handling all my cries. And that's what you need. That's what I realized, that help is, of course, required when you try and succeed IB. Make sure you ask for help. These tips have helped me to get through IB with 43 out of 45 marks, and of course, there were times that I have to admit that I may have not been that motivated or I have procrastinated, but I looked at those as not a mistake or, I don't want to bash myself about it. There were times that I bashed myself about it, but I realized that it doesn't help. Make sure you prevent yourself from bashing up yourself. It's totally okay to procrastinate a bit, but what I learned, I always look at it as a next step in the ladder. That, okay, this is a mistake I made. I will get to it by still climbing onto the ladder. Keep on going up and get to as much as possible. It is difficult because of my hearing aid. I have to study everything from scratch, make sure that I know what I'm talking about, and it took me a long time and a lot of anxiety and panic attacks and so much more. But when I finished IB, I realized that, oh my god, all this hard work was all worth it to see these great results. And of course, it's a lot of work, but I know you can get through it. That's what I've always said to myself. And I always looked at my goal board. No matter what, I would try and get that honor roll, a high honor roll, or I would definitely get a good grade for my IB results. So, yeah. And of course, I did not do this all alone. Without my parents and my brother's help, it would have been a very difficult, even more difficult journey than what I've gone through. My brother and my parents, they have helped me to get through and make sure that I'm on track and not, slipping again into deep procrastination, always working and they have been my emotional support. So please look for someone that can help you and provide you as much support as you can. Well, that was definitely a lot of information that I have provided. I really hope that this has helped you, and hopefully it will help you in the long term. In the next coming videos, I will be talking about CAS, how I got the CAS award, and how I got through CAS in many ways to try to get and give the best performance I could. I will also explain how I did the extended essay and got A on it. And of course, I will also explain a more depth video about how I wrote my notes. So a lot of videos are going to be coming up, and I really hope that this video will provide time and provide help and provide awareness about how you can get through IB. If I can get through IB, you all can get through IB. And so I hope this video will help you, and please let me know if you have any question, or if you prefer a certain video to be posted up. I will definitely see if I can look into that. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and click the notification bell whenever you like. I really hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!